In the remote backwoods of Black Lake, Maine, a covert genetic research initiative is focused on manipulating growth hormones in crocodiles, tapping into serum derived from giant anacondas. This experiment aims to enhance the capabilities of these already fearsome predators, but it soon devolves into disaster, unleashing monstrous crocodiles that become a significant threat to the surrounding environment. Reba, a seasoned wildlife officer, returns to Black Lake in response to a recent incident that has escalated local tensions. A group of college students from a sorority and fraternity seeks a carefree retreat in the wilderness, oblivious to the lurking dangers. Among them is Bethany, an intelligent student whose perceptiveness contrasts sharply with her more carefree companions. Simultaneously, Beach, a corporate representative from the research facility, is dispatched to retrieve the wayward serum and cover up the fallout of the experiments. He collaborates with Tull, a morally ambiguous operative whose primary focus is to protect the company's secrets even if it entails drastic measures. Tull, however, has ulterior motives and begins to manipulate circumstances for his gain. As the college students bask in their lakeside festivities, chaos quickly ensues when a giant crocodile drags one of the girls underwater, igniting panic among the group. In their scramble to escape, they find their exit obstructed by a massive anaconda that has escaped from the research facility. The severity of their situation dawns on them. The worst predators in the area have broken free and, fueled by their genetic enhancements, are on a collision course. Concurrently, Reba and Sheriff Willard attempt to regain control of the crisis. Despite their dedication, they are hamstrung by limited manpower and resources. They team up with Bethany and her friend Margot, whose obsession with documenting the events for social media inadvertently proves useful. Margot's footage becomes critical for identifying the mutated creatures prowling the woods. As tensions rise, the group discovers that the genetically altered crocodiles and anacondas are instinctively drawn to each other, their territorial instincts heightened by the experiments. The serum, initially intended to combine desirable traits for military and pharmaceutical purposes, has instead birthed uncontrollable monsters. As the creatures sense one another's presence, they become increasingly aggressive, embodying nature's fierce rebellion against human interference and technological hubris. As the danger escalates with numerous attacks, including those on Tull's mercenaries, it becomes clear that the only solution to eradicate the threat posed by the predator species is to eliminate both the anaconda and the crocodile entirely. Reba suggests a plan to attract the creatures to a controlled location by using live bait alongside a serum. Despite his reservations, Beach agrees to assist with the plan, with Tull having no choice but to follow suit. The team devises a trap near a dam, utilizing the landscape advantageously while laying explosives around the area in preparation to detonate once both predators are within striking range. However, chaos ensues when the anaconda and crocodile attack, prematurely demolishing the trap and scattering the group in the process. Tull, driven by greed, attempts to capture the anaconda for profit but meets a swift demise when the serpent retaliates against him. In a surprising turn of character, Beach, initially perceived as a mere corporate pawn, redeems himself by rescuing Bethany and Margot from the crocodile's assault, losing his own life in the effort. Meanwhile, Sheriff Willard bravely engages the predators but suffers severe injuries while aiding Reba. As the climactic battle approaches, Bethany and Reba collaborate to lure the two creatures back towards the dam. A confrontation unfolds as the anaconda and crocodile clash in an epic and devastating struggle. Seizing the moment, Bethany triggers the explosives using a remote device, leading to a tremendous explosion that obliterates the dam and buries the monstrous beasts beneath enormous piles of debris and water. In the haunting aftermath, Reba and Bethany emerge from the chaos physically and emotionally drained but alive. Authorities soon arrive to manage the severe situation, and Bethany reflects on the harrowing events, realizing the dire consequences that arise from unchecked scientific experimentation. Reba, though hardened by the experience, remains hopeful and pledges to safeguard the area, acutely aware that nature has a relentless way of resurfacing. Despite their apparent victory over the monstrous threats, the story leaves an unsettling note as a lone crocodile egg lies hidden within the debris, still intact and pulsating with an eerie life force. Meanwhile, in the remote outskirts of Black Lake, researchers engage in clandestine experiments that fuse the DNA of massive crocodiles with that of anacondas, aiming to create a controllable hybrid species via a synthetic serum. However, these endeavors spiral out of control when one of the augmented crocodiles escapes, exhibiting accelerated growth and aggression before disappearing into the ominous swamp, suggesting that new dangers may yet await. Wildlife Officer Reba is summoned to investigate the mysterious disappearances occurring around the lake, bringing with her a wealth of experience with the area's deadly wildlife. Meanwhile, at a nearby research facility, Beach, a corporate fixer accompanied by the ruthless operative Tull, arrives to orchestrate a cover-up of a disastrous experiment involving genetically altered animals. Tull, driven by his own agenda, further complicates the situation. Elsewhere, a group of sorority girls from Clear Lake University, led by the intelligent and ambitious Bethany, arrives at a retreat for a weekend of bonding, accompanied by a few fraternity boys eager to turn the event into a party. Among them is Margot, who is fixated on documenting their experience for her social media. As they settle into their rustic lodge, they remain blissfully unaware of the predatory dangers lurking in the surrounding forest. Chaos erupts shortly after their arrival when one student goes missing while swimming. The situation escalates as another student is abruptly pulled underwater, triggering a panic among the group. They flee into the woods only to be confronted by a massive genetically enhanced anaconda that is not only large but also unnaturally fast and cunning. Reba, along with Sheriff Willard, responds to emergency calls and manages to rescue a few students, including Bethany and Margot. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Reba realizes this is not a typical wildlife crisis. Back at the lab, she interrogates a surviving scientist who reveals that an anaconda and a crocodile had escaped. Disturbingly, these creatures are drawn to each other, driven by mating instincts and territorial aggression. Their investigation leads to the grim realization that the crocodile has already mated with an enhanced female and the anaconda is tracking pheromonal cues. This poses a dire threat not just to the students but the potential creation of a new generation of formidable hybrids. The mission escalates from merely containing the animals to ensuring their complete eradication. However, Tull seizes an opportunity for profit by seeking to capture the creatures alive. In a ruthless move, he eliminates the remaining researcher to prevent any witnesses and ventures into the forest with his crew armed with tranquilizers and nets. The genetic enhancements of the creatures prove overwhelming, and one by one Tull's mercenaries fall victim to the cunning anaconda. Tull's ambitions ultimately backfire, leading to his violent betrayal by the very creature he sought to control, sealing the fate of both the team and the laboratory's dark experiments. In the depths of the forest, Bethany, Margot, and a handful of other students find themselves under siege from a ferocious crocodile. Seeking refuge, the group takes shelter in an old ranger station, but Margot, undeterred by the imminent danger, insists on documenting their harrowing experience. The crocodile relentlessly pursues them, violently breaking through the walls in a sudden and terrifying attack. Amidst the chaos, Bethany manages to flee with Margot, though their escape comes at a tragic cost, with several of their companions losing their lives. Meanwhile, Sheriff Willard is faced with a perilous situation as he confronts a menacing anaconda while trying to save stranded hikers. In a tense struggle, he manages to inflict wounds on the beast with shotgun blasts but ultimately finds himself overmatched. Just as he appears to be in dire straits, Reba arrives, timing her intervention perfectly to frighten the anaconda away and rescue Willard. However, he sustains severe injuries and as he slips into unconsciousness, implores Reba to finish the fight against the creatures. In a parallel development, Beach comes to the realization that the current experiment is beyond salvage. He teams up with Reba and Bethany to devise a cunning trap designed to eliminate both monsters. Utilizing serum samples, they create a chemical lure intended to attract the crocodile and the anaconda to an open quarry situated near the river. To enhance their plan, they strategically plant explosives in the quarry, hoping to draw the ferocious creatures into a deadly encounter that will lead to their mutual destruction, allowing them to detonate the site once only one monster remains. As anticipated, both creatures take the bait. The furious crocodile lumbers toward the quarry while the anaconda emerges from the trees, leading to a cataclysmic showdown. The ensuing battle is ferocious, with each creature using its natural weaponry, teeth and coils, resulting in a horrific clash that shatters rocks and uproots trees in their struggle for supremacy. Meanwhile, Bethany and Reba must contend with the last vestiges of Tull's mercenaries, who are desperately trying to regain control of the monsters for profit. As the climactic battle rages on, disaster strikes when the explosives fail to detonate. With time running out, Bethany dashes into the quarry, determined to reset the trigger while narrowly evading the chaos of the ongoing fight between the two monstrous titans. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.